Then we go into a Bobby Roode promo.
Bobby Roode and Lashley are fighting in the last man standing match coming up. Bobby Roode puts over their rivalry, and since Bobby Roode did beat Lashley for the TNA title at one point, Bobby Roode makes a great line. If history can repeat itself, and then goes to say that he should be able to beat Bobby Lashley. Lots of Bobbies in this match. And then he puts over Lashley as an ass kicker, dominator, destroyer, all that stuff, and then he just closes off by saying he's going to win the match tonight. And then it goes to a Roode and Lashley video package. Again, I'm going to commend because I needed this video package to get over the rivalry, how fast it was. It goes over 4 matches. This is the 4th match.
Yep.
And so I needed to know that. So, but again, TNA is doing really, really well with their promo packages. So,
kudos.
Yeah, tremendous.
So then we had a last man standing match, Bobby Roode versus Bobby Lashley. Lashley does a shoulder tackle to Roode. Roode does a blockbuster off the top rope to Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley does a delayed vertical suplex to Bobby Roode. Bobby Lashley clotheslines Roode. Roode does a sleeper hold to Lashley. Lashley does a power slam to Roode. Lashley does a superplex to Roode. Roode does a spine buster to Lashley. Lashley does a spine buster to Roode. Roode spears Lashley. Lashley did the Roode bomb to Roode. Lashley speared Roode. Lashley speared the steel steps.
Ouch.
Roode did the Roode bomb to Lashley, and Lashley stayed down for 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was one of those things where like Roode barely makes the 10 count, and then Lashley couldn't make it. Okay, so there's a couple things. I'm going to nitpick a little bit. Like I said, this match was okay. Well, first of all, the match itself. Before I nitpick it, the match I thought these two guys are really good. As long as like they're out there and they're kicking some ass. I don't think there's a wasted move in this match, to be honest with you. Aside from that sleeper part, everything made sense. There's only 2 things I'm going to nitpick about, and it's just because it just seems really silly to me about how Bobby Roode put a sleeper on Bobby Lashley, and they're both on the ground. Referee should be counting.
Yep.
So then the referee goes over and does the raise the hands 3 times to see if Bobby Lashley is still conscious and gets a 3 count. Okay, no problem. Then Bobby Roode lets him go, and then the referee starts to count and gets to 9. So by my count, that right there should be at least 12 seconds. Roode should have won that match technically. Again, it's just a nitpick.
I agree with that though.
But it's just one of those things. I just thought it's just that part. I don't think anybody thought it through when they thought about when to do a 10 count. Because every time they did a 10 count was when one guy was on the ground with nobody around him. Like it was like one guy was on the ground, one guy was standing up until the end. Then they finally counted both guys on the ground. Which, come on, if you're not gonna do it here, why do it at the end?
I agree with that.
All right. The second thing about this match was some of the selling, and this is a nitpick pretty much in most matches these days. And again, I'm not saying the matches suck because of it, but it does hinder it a little bit. There's times where like, I'm not going to go into details about what the moves were, but Lashley would hit a move on Roode. Roode is able to recover within like, I'm sorry, it was right after the sleeper. How does Lashley put a sleeper on him, and he's dazed and confused for like 12 seconds, and then suddenly he's able to get up and perform moves right away? Sell the sleeper. What was the point of doing it if you're not going to sell it?
I agree with that.
Same thing with some moves later. Bobby Roode did it too, so I'm not just picking on Lashley here. And that's just me coming from an old school viewpoint. Is that why would you do a move if you're not going to sell the exact impact of said move?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'll 100% back you on that one because there should have been a little more selling on certain things like that particular sleeper hold spot.
Yeah. And then later in the match, I think. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. There was a move that somebody did. I believe it was. It was a superplex by Lashley onto Roode. Roode was up, and within like about a minute, he was up and punching Lashley, and then they go into their little. I'll do your move on me, or I'll do your move on you, and then Lashley does his move on Roode, or Roode's move on Roode. That's a little tongue twister, wasn't it?
Yep.
There's also a little funny little spot where Lashley's going for a spear and the referee almost gets in the way. That would have been funny.
That was good.
The referee did a little agile move there, get out of the way. But yeah, so this match was good. I thought, like I said, there was no wasted movements. I think they went from spot to spot to spot very, very well.
Would you rate it?
I'm gonna give it a 7. I'll be nice.
I'm giving it an 8. It's the best match on the show.
Yeah.
Would you recommend people check this particular show out?
Yes. Yeah, definitely watch this one. If anything, watch it for the Gauntlet Battle Royal, and watch it for Roode and Lashley. Yeah, I mean, almost every match was good in some terms, and obviously we were shitting on it in other terms. But I mean, I enjoyed watching it. Go watch it.
All right, so we got a recommendation. It's a thumbs up show overall. It's general consensus. Not a super high thumbs up, I'll tell you that.
A little bit higher than the one watched earlier. Like I had a little sloth thumbs up. I'm almost at a thumbs up right here. I'm a little bit above the bar. Let's put it that way.
Yep. So that is it for this particular episode of the RW Wrestling Podcast. Albert and I will be back with a few more of these TNA one night only concept shows.
Bye.
Bye.